Hear me, see my screen. If I am now in an incoming shipment page in Odoo, is that happening from your side as well? Still waiting to see the chat, sorry. You might be answering me, but I don't see the chat. Do you see the chat? Ah, okay. Okay, I'm afraid the chat restarted as well. So, very sorry for all the asked questions, but you can always copy paste, I assume. If not, please repeat your questions. Before going any further, I will just finish the question I was answering. Obviously, it was about how to get tracking on your products. As an example, we quickly created a mouse product. We set it as a stockable product. Why? Because you can only track stockable products. Consumable products you cannot track, and obviously a service product you cannot track. Okay, so we bought a mouse product. We bought 3 mouses. If I go back to the purchase order, you can see that once you validate it, it switches from a quotation to a purchase order. You can see it right here. And what will happen is you will have an incoming shipment. Okay, so by clicking here on receiving the products, it's basically the same as opening the incoming shipment. Okay, so you can receive the products, and if I say, okay, I want to validate 3 products coming in, I'll get an error. Why? Because Odoo notices that some products require a lot number or a serial number. Okay, so how to do that? You click here on this icon, and a screen will pop up. It will say, okay, you have to do 3. You have 0 out of 3 serial numbers done. So I'm going to add 3 serial numbers. Okay. Keep in mind, if you have very complex serial numbers to fill in, and you think it's easier to import them, then this is possible. Okay. It's not that hard. You create an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, you have one column with the serial number, one column with the product that the serial number is for, and you can import. This reduces the chance of filling in errors, but in this case, let's keep it basic, because yeah, there's a lot of questions to be answered, and it will be, I don't think it's relevant for now. If you want to see the demo, please ask, and if we have time, we will do it. Okay, so 3 mouse products coming in. I'm just gonna type mouse 1 as the serial number. Okay, and then mouse 2 and mouse 3. So you can see, if you fill in the correct amount of serial numbers, what will happen is you will see that, I don't know if you see the color correctly from the screen, from the stream I mean, but it turns green. Okay, it gives you a positive feedback. You are done with the serial number part. If I now validate, what will happen is we will create a stock move that moves 3 mouse products from a virtual location outside of your warehouse into your warehouse. Okay. In this particular case, there will be a stock move. Within the stock move, you will have the serial number information. Okay. To quickly show you what I was talking about for the people that don't understand, I'll go in the inventory. In the inventory, if I go to, I'll go to the inventory valuation. It's easier. So I'm gonna check my entire inventory. Since it's a bit too much, I'm gonna filter on mouse. Okay. So in the filter, you can see that you can filter on different types. You can filter on product, location, and on serial number. What we can do is first filter on product mouse. You'll see that you have 3 options, so you can specifically filter on mouse product. This gives you one line here, and in this line you can see that 3 products came in. You can see for each product which serial number it was. Okay, I don't know if someone noticed, but when I was searching for mouse, the third option is to search for specifically for the lot or the serial number. And you can see that you can specifically look for, okay, I want mouse 3, where is it? It's right here. You click on it, and you can see the information related to the stock move. So you can see when it was transferred, where it came from, in which quantity it came in. First of all, in which location do you want to update the quantity? You can only do it per location, which is logical. Let's say I want to add 2 mouse products. You will see that you cannot just say, okay, I'm gonna raise the quantity by 2 for this serial number because it's a serial number. Okay, so what you have to do is say, okay, I'm gonna raise the quantity with 1 for serial number mouse 4. Okay, I apply. I do it again, and I say, okay, now I'm gonna update the quantity again with 1 for serial number mouse 5. That's a way to do it manually. I hope it makes sense to everyone that you have to do it one by one, since there's a serial number involved. Okay, that's it's quite logical. What I can do is again show you the result. So I can either do it through my inventory valuation, where I show my entire inventory from today. What we can do also is directly navigate to the location I just updated. So if you go in your configuration, the configuration of your inventory, you go to the locations, you can see that you have a WH stock right here. This is the one I updated. Okay, if you go in the current stock of this location by clicking on current stock, you will see all the products that are here in this specific location. You can see that the mouse product now has a 2 behind it. It means it has 2 quants. It has 2, how do you define a quant? Basically waves in which products come in or go out. Okay, so the first time we added 3 mouse products, and then the second time we did it manually. So you can see, oh no, sorry, I misinterpreted this, because the first 3 mouse products we entered in a different location. I didn't notice that. So the last 2 were added here, and you can see there's 2 lines because we have 2 incoming products, and it's for the mouse 4 and the mouse 5. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. If there's anything else, Peter, let me know, but I'm gonna stop talking about this for now. If something's not clear, let me know. Then we have Michael von Heinitz. When asking for a refund on a supplier bill on a stockable product, the credit bill is created, yes, but there are no stock moves. What is the best way to proceed to process credit bills matching stock and invoice together? Let me quickly check that for you, Michael, because from the sales side, it's quite basic what you do. So I'm first going to show you the sales side, because I know this is definitely a complete solution, and then I'm going to try to do the same from the purchase side. Okay, so imagine you have here a sale order. I'm going to create a new one just to be sure. Let's take the mouse product we just created. Let's sell 1. Okay, 1 product. Okay, if I confirm the sale, I will be able to deliver it. Let's say I deliver the product. I will choose a serial number. It proposes me 1. If I want to take another one, you just click this away and you choose another one. Okay, but Odoo will propose you a serial number, which can be handy. But if you really want to work with specifics, you click it away and you choose from the options. Okay, so I'm going to deliver mouse 1. Okay, this is fixed. I'll validate it. I hope I added a price. No, yeah, okay. So there's a price of $1.15. It's a very, very cheap mouse. Maybe a bit too cheap. I'm going to create the invoice. Okay, as you would. I'll validate. And now what you can do is refund the no, what you can do now is return the goods. So you go back to the delivery order, you return the goods, and you will see that here in this line, you will see, okay, you want to return which goods. There's only one product here, so it's quite basic. But if you check to refund, I mean, if you actually check it, then you'll see that Odoo will create a automatic credit note. Okay. So I know this is not your question. You want to see it from the purchase side. I just want to show you first how it works from the sales side. Okay. You'll see the incoming shipment again asks you, okay, which serial number do you want to bring in? So I'll add the serial number, save it, validate. This will bring in the product that you just delivered. Okay. And now what you can do in the invoice, at least. Okay. If I now refund the invoice, and I say, okay, wrong product delivered, then what you will get is the refund with the product that you delivered. Okay. Now, from the purchase side, I'm not sure if we have the same feature. Okay, so I have to check first. Take the mouse product. I'll buy one. Bespoke vacations. Bespoke vacations asks how much the mailing tool costs. Let's make this into a general question. How much does Odoo cost? I'm going to quickly give you a summary how to check that yourself. So what you do is you go to odoo.com /pricing. Okay, can everyone see that? odoo.com/pricing, and you'll see the first page you enter is which type of Odoo setup will you use. So you have the online and you have the enterprise. Online means that we will host your database. We will host the servers. We will make sure the updates are done correctly. If you migrate from one version to the other, we will make sure it happens correctly and nothing gets lost, etc. We will create backlogs of your database in case anything goes wrong. We can reboot from a certain moment. That's one thing. If you use Odoo Enterprise, you will have to host the server yourself, or at least use an external provider outside of us. If you use Odoo Enterprise, you have also the availability to use third-party apps, to install third-party apps at your own risk, of course. But that's not your question. Your question is about Odoo Online. How much do apps cost? So what you need to do if you're in this page, you go to Odoo Online on the right here. And this will give you kind of a dynamic pricing calculator. So on the right you will see what you need to pay in terms of subscription. So this is for the implementation service. Don't mind this at the moment. Purely for the apps, mind this. So the first thing we do is we charge 20 euros per user, okay? And then according to which apps you buy, we will charge you monthly for those apps. It depends which apps you choose, because if sometimes one app can trigger other apps. You cannot sell something without being able to invoice, for instance, because it doesn't make sense. So if you want to have the sales, we kind of oblige you to also take invoicing since it's in the flow. Okay. For your specific question, bespoke vacations, mass mailing. So you choose mass mailing somewhere here, if I can find it. I'm looking over it. Okay, it's this one. Okay, so it's the email marketing. It has a different name here. But you can just buy it separately, and it's a €10 per month app. Okay, so feel free to come to this site, check which apps you might need, so you can get a clear view on what Odoo would cost you on a monthly basis. Okay. Louison, I did not see your question about consumables. You added your question again, I think. How to set rules for reordering consumables so as to maintain levels. If we run out of screws, can Odoo notify me? That's actually the entire point of the consumables, Louison, is that they are not linked to any stock control. Okay, so if you have, like you're explaining me, if you have consumable products like screws, and you're like, okay, we have an infinite amount of screws always, but we still want to, on a large level, control the stock of the screws, then what I advise you to do is just set it to a stockable product, but add a reordering rule that's quite flexible. Okay, so imagine you have screws put into stockable and say, okay, I just want at least 5,000 screws in my stock, which can be one box, I know, but if you do that and the box is turning below, let's say, 1,000 screws, then you can tell the system to reorder a box or keep one box at least in stock. In that case, you can set a minimum rule to 5,000 or to 1,000, whatever you want, and reorder to 10,000. So you always have 2 boxes every reordering moment. Okay. I can demo this if you want, if people want. I'm quickly going to go through the other questions, and then I'm going to demo this for the people that want to see how to do it. Okay. We have a question from Gio. Is it possible to create and print a barcode on QR code label for the products in stock? Well, yeah, it's possible if you use the barcode tracking and you add a barcode to your product, then automatically this barcode will be created for the picking list. Okay. I don't know if it's already configured in the runbot here, but I'm gonna try to show you. Let's take the iMac. I'm gonna fill in a barcode. Okay, so what I can do is quickly sell an iMac. See if the barcode already appears. Okay, so this is a good example, by the way, for the stockable products, people. If your product is set to stockable and you are trying to sell something that's not in stock, you'll get a warning. This will not happen if you're what you can do is either work with a discount that you add here, let's say a 10% discount, which will recalculate the product price. If you want to add a global discount, as in, at least if I interpret it correctly, a discount over the entire sale order, then what I advise you to do is create a product, a discount product, and fill in a negative price. So it brings down the total, okay? If you want to see this in your accounting, then you need to, basically like every product, you need to add the accounts to the discount product, and you will see that the entries are made also, okay? Um, Bizarak. Also, my enterprise version, I can't see print voucher in the customer vendor payments, while the online version, it exists. Okay. Not sure how to help you there. If it exists in online and not in enterprise, it might be an upgrade then that you have not already installed, a SaaS version that we don't yet have. But I'm not really sure how to help you with that. If it's an urgent matter or a really blocking point, please refer to odoo.com/help. I'm gonna repeat that for everyone. By the way, if we're not doing live support sessions, we're still here to help you, but not live. You can go to odoo.com/help. I think I have it here open. Yeah, it gives you this screen. You fill in your name, your email address, and you specify your Odoo setup and your problem. Okay. Scrolling down. Michael von Heinitz is saying my feed is jumping and skipping. Not sure what you mean. I hope the connection is correct, but I have to check your question regarding SaaS online upgrades. I missed that one apparently. Okay, yeah, I missed it. So, if you have an online instance using SaaS 15 and version 11 comes out, can you upgrade the instance to the new version? Okay. Yeah, so what you can do is apply for the upgrade. Now the thing is, the moment we release version 11 doesn't mean you can already instantly upgrade to V11. What we do first is release the new version, make it available for new users, and from the moment we release it, at least we're already working on it, but it's called the migration scripts. So what we do is we build scripts that can take your data from a previous version and put it into V11 correctly, you know. And this takes some time because it's obviously quite complex. The system changes from 10 to 11 or from 9 to 11, and we need to map everything correctly. This takes some time. But if the moment is there, what you can do, how can I show you this easily? I'll try to find a random Odoo database. Okay, so I'm just logging in a non-run bot place. I'm managing my okay. So normally in this field, so if you are in odoo.com, you come in your database. If you click on manage your databases, here in this screen, you have an option to upgrade if it's relevant. Now this client is already in that version, so he can't. But here you can choose to upgrade your instance. Okay, this will create in our support team. It will create a ticket in the correct pipeline, and we will help you as fast as we can. Okay. So please let me know if you can't find the way to apply for it, but it should be quite straightforward. Okay. Let's see where we left off. Let's see. Rui Franco has anyone been able to send emails with images from Odoo? Well, of course. No. What you can do, because I think you just missed the way to do that in Odoo. What you can do is in the chatter of any document, here you can create a new message, which is basically sending an email to all followers on the right side, which is usually the client. It could be other people. You can add a new message, and yeah, you simply add attachments, and the images will arrive at your recipient. Okay. Another important thing is here, if you want to add a basic email, you can click on the right icon, and this will give you the ability to add here. And I want you to reorder to that amount of boxes. It's perfectly possible, but it might end up with a less safety stock than by just saying, okay, a box of screws is 5,000 screws, and if I go below 1,000, let's reorder to 10,000. I would prefer to do that, unless you're okay with having a lot of boxes in your stock with screws. I know it's a stupid example, but I hope you understand what I mean. I would do it like that. Okay? If it's not clear, let me know. So you are complaining about the connection. I can't really do anything about that. Sorry. I hope it gets better by the end of this session or during this session. For your information, my colleague Frédéric, who you will see later, he will take over from me at 12:30. Okay, so in an hour and a half, he will be the one to answer your questions. But for now, it's me. I hope the connection will be better from now on. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Ahmad Yousaf, we want to create a healthcare system by Odoo. That's quite an open question. It's an interesting question, but it's quite open because obviously before we can dive into what modules to use, I need to know what you mean by having a healthcare system. What needs you need, what kind of data you need to store in Odoo, how to follow up this with a client. It seems like you could use the service setup, so it's service company setup, I mean. Right off the bat, and I don't know if it's the perfect solution, but I guess you could work with the subscription module, where you sell subscriptions to everyone that has healthcare in your company. If you work with a monthly or a yearly invoice, you could configure the subscription template as such that it generates this monthly or yearly invoice. I don't know what else you have to do in managing a healthcare system. I really don't know. But if it comes down to managing who is in the system and who is not, and who has to pay what every month or every year, then I advise you to look into the subscription module. Okay? If you have more specific questions, let me know. If not, I'm gonna let you check it out, and you can get back to us if you miss anything in that module. Okay? Okay. So Rui Franco, back to the email images problem. You're referring to building an email template with images inside. Okay. Personally, I've never created an email template with images inside. But since you can make it work with the external URL, I don't see a problem why you would not do that in standard. Give it a try, I would say. You can go in your templates. Yeah, I don't know. Let me test it out real quick. Uploading an image of grapes. Okay. No. So I have the image here. I'm going to save it as a template. And yeah, there you have it. It should work. If you send if you send this out, it should work. Let me go in a test database real quick. No, let's not do that here. Just switching switching to a random database. Okay. So I'm adding myself as a client. Okay. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to add myself. Okay. So creating this is advisable for users to use Odoo Studio for this. I don't know if everyone knows what Odoo Studio is, but basically what it does is it is an app that makes you either change and adapt existing apps, or you can create your own app. Okay. Usually it's used to change existing apps, since we have apps for basically every business flow, or at least almost everyone. But yeah, if you have a missing business flow, you can also create an app. But that's, I mean, it's a bit advanced. What I'm going to show you is to customize existing Odoo. In this case, let's customize the invoice. Okay. So, accounting. I'm going in the accounting. I'm going to open an invoice. So always step one is go to the document, the object you want to customize. Once you're at the document, what you do is you activate Odoo Studio, and this will give you the option to change however this looks. Okay. Studio gives you the option to add new fields, which is used quite a lot, but you can also use existing fields. These are fields that already exist, but that we choose to not show in standards on the invoice because it's not always used. Okay, so we're trying to make it not a chaotic invoice, and if you want to add fields, feel free to do it with Odoo Studio. Okay. So, I'm not gonna dive into this too deeply because you can keep going talking about Odoo Studio. But let's say for some reason you need a field you need to relate to a different client. You need like a sponsor on your invoice. I don't know, a sponsor that is involved in this sale or in this project. What you can do is add a many to one, and you can refer to the REST partner. This means it will be a field that you add, and this field will actually be a window to the contact module that you have. Okay, if you fill this in, what you can do if you close Odoo Studio is choose a random a random partner here. Okay, so the Jackson Group. Obviously, you have the option to rename your fields. I forgot to tell you. So once you have added your field, even if it's a simple text field, if it's a numerical field, if it's an HTML field, date field, you can click on the field and you can add a suitable name. Okay, so in this case, it could be the sponsor. It could be anything. This is very random example. Okay. So this is step one, changing the way it looks in Odoo. Now, if you want to add fields on your reports, this is a bit more advanced, but what you need to do is first find the report in the backend in the technical settings of Odoo, and there with the correct XML code, you can refer to the fields. Okay. I'm not going to show you the entire process, but I'm going to show you where to do it, where you can find it. Okay, so first of all, you go into your settings module. You activate the developer mode by clicking here on the right side. Sorry, my my throat. So when you activate developer mode, the whole thing will refresh. It's not a problem. You open the settings again, and you'll see that you have technical settings showing up. Okay. Then what you do is look for reports somewhere in this list. Okay, it's here under actions, reports, and then you search for the invoice if you type it correctly. Invoice. Okay, so you have your invoice right here, the bottom one, and in this invoice you have an option to open the QWeb views, and the QWeb views are actually used to code the way the PDF will look. Okay, so if you open the QWeb views, you have the main one, the document, which is the main code, and then you have some inherited views that say, okay, I want to the main view, I want to add this, 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 and this. This is quite technical, but just to give you an idea, in the document, this is basically what it looks like. This is the way you divide the page, the PDF page, and you say, in this part of the page, I want to add these fields and these fields and these fields. So you see here, the invoice date is added, the due date, the source, which is then the source document, etc. So in your case, if you want to customize, first create the field, which is the pivot field, which is more a dynamic way of showing what happens. In default, you will see the total quantity, and you will see per location what's going on. So you can divide this report as ever you want. It's a dynamic report, so you can choose, I want here information on the product, and per product I want I don't know, I want to split it up in where it came from, where it was going, the status, which warehouse. So in your company there should be then 15 and undefined 2, because there is no defined warehouse. Okay, but if you want a report on this, I just advise you to export it and then in Excel rework it. It shouldn't take that much time. Okay. You need to show the tax number or the VAT below the address. Yeah, okay. That's again a question from LabTech. In this case, you don't need to create the TIN number field because it already exists on the partner. But what you need to do is find the correct technical line to be able to add the VAT number under the address. I myself am not educated in that coding language, but if you find the way to do it, then you can do it basically yourself by navigating the way I told you. So go to the reports, go to the QF view of the report, find a way to place your new code under the address line, and add the number, add the VAT field. Okay. Let me go on. See if there's anything I can help with. The Odoo WhatsApp group. Okay, it's not relevant for me. The moment you were going to test the email, the video jumped to invoice customization. Okay. Well, Rui Franco, what I did was test your email. I hope you saw the way I configured it. So I created an email, and in the HTML field of the email, I added an inline image, and then I sent it to myself. And when I checked it for myself, I got this email with the great picture. Okay, so let me know if you missed the way to add it in the HTML, but I feel like it's straightforward. If it's not, if you missed it, let me know. I'll show it to you again. It's quite basic. Okay. How can I install the free version in Mac? Francisco Camara, it doesn't really matter what type of PC you're on. You just need a browser to be able to be on Odoo. I don't know if you see my screen, but everything I'm doing in Odoo here is basically just in my Google Chrome. I go to the website. Yeah, this is now not an Odoo website, but for instance here, this is for instance a client. It's called Ames, so it would be ames.odoo.com. In your case, you just go to odoo.com and you try it for free. So you have the big green button here that says try it for free. This launches the entire process. You add your company name, or the way you want your database to be called, at least, your email address, etc., etc. It will create an empty database, and then you can install apps however you want. The first app is free. The next apps will be payable. But of course, you can always test everything first before, obviously, before committing to Odoo. You can test it for free. The only thing is your test databases will close after 15 days, 14 or 15 days. So we give you 2 weeks to test what you want to test. Then you can either start all over and keep testing, or you can contact our sales department and get a contract with us and start using Odoo. Okay. Don't forget, if you're using Odoo for real with us, obviously you still have the option to keep testing. Okay. Once you have a contract with us, we have a tool that allows you to duplicate your production database, as we call it, which is a database you will actually work in, the one that won't expire every 2 weeks. But you can duplicate that database as much as you want, do your testing, and if everything seems correct, if everything is legit, then you can apply it in the production database. Okay. So, next question. For us, it's the definition of you're customizing your database in any way. So we need to maintain it. We need to maintain what you are changing so it doesn't disappear. So keep in mind that customizing however you want, it comes at a cost. Okay. We go to the yes, great. MPS creates purchase orders based on purchase lead time and sometimes not consider the purchase lead time. Why? Normally what happens is if you create a purchase order and your products that are in the purchase order have a lead time, then Odoo will take the first possible way, the first possible date in which the products can arrive. Okay, I'm not sure in your case why it would not consider the purchase lead time, and sometimes it would. But I advise you to go into the different products and compare the purchase lead time. If it's not set at the same time, then there you have your answer. Okay. Louison has a new question. Can fields or columns be moved around in a list view with Studio? Yeah, you're true. Yeah, you're right. I mean, at the moment, it's not. It doesn't work like a drag and drop. I think at some point in the future we will definitely change that, but at the moment it doesn't. So I'm going to show you all what Louison means. It's no problem. It's just it's a good tip. I agree. If I launch Odoo Studio, and for instance in the list view I want to add, let's see for a relevant, let's say the creation date of the sale order, just randomly picking an existing field. What will happen is the moment I let go, so the drag and drop here, it works. The moment I let go, it puts it in the list view. Now what Louison is saying, okay, it's a bit of shame that you cannot just move the column from one side to the other, but I mean it's basically the same, because what we do now is we click on the column that I misplaced because I want the creation date behind the total. I remove it from the view. I find it back in my existing fields. It's not gone. It's just back here, and I can't find it. Create date, yeah, and I'll add it here. Okay, so the drag and drop, it works, but only for adding the field, not for replacing the field. Now, in future versions of Odoo Studio, this might change, but if you are committed to V10, then this is the way to do it. It's a slight extra click, but I mean it's easy. Okay, shouldn't block you. How to change the font size for invoice layouts in general. Again, this has to do with the coding in the QWeb views. For me, that's outside my skill level. I'd love to help you with that, changing the font levels, customization. Okay. If you're interested, our technical team can help you, but make sure you have you have a contract with us, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Togach Hutabarat. Hi. I'd like to ask, is there any way for us to cancel any produced product from manufacturing order? Of course. Not sure what's the problem here. You can cancel a manufacturing order, and this will cancel all the stock moves that are related to it. If you cancel a manufacturing order before validating it, before confirming it and producing it and setting it to done, there will be no stock move putting your manufactured product in stock. If you cancel them, sorry for my coughing. If you cancel that, nothing will happen. Just to make sure, I'll show you the cancel button, but it seems quite obvious. If you're in a manufacturing order here, you check the availability. There is nothing available, I see. Okay, so I'm recording production, right, in the manufacturing order, producing in HDD. And what I can do is scrap it, I guess. Okay. Then Italamo. We're buying products with specific serial numbers. We want to track the stock movements and sell these serialized products to the customer. I want to add specific serialized numbers to the order. Yeah, okay. You're basically describing the standard way of using serial numbers, Italamo. I already showed this today, but since it doesn't take a long time to do, I'm gonna quickly purchase a product. Okay. So in the purchase app, I will buy the mouse product that we earlier created. Quickly, I'm going to show you two essential settings you have to set in order to be trackable. You put it to stockable, and in the inventory tab of your product, you will say that you're tracking this by the unique serial number of the product. Okay? So that's something you have to do. You buy the product. By buying the product, you will be able to receive it. By validating the purchase order, you will be able to let the products come into your stock. And before validating this, you need to add the serial number. So in your case, you want to have a very specific number for your product. So I'll say specific, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a random code. I'll validate this. And by validating, it is now in my stock. Okay. If I now want to sell the product and have a specific tracking on it, have this specific number sold, what will happen is I'll create a sale order quickly. And here I will choose the mouse. You will see that in this step, you don't already have to select the serial number. It's in the delivery that you will specify what you're delivering. It's in the sale order that you specify what type of product and the amount, not the specific product number. Okay, so I confirm the sale by confirming I'm able to deliver. And in the delivery, the system will propose me a number, one of the available numbers. If you want to have a specific one, you delete the proposed one, and you find in the list the ones that are available. Okay, so I will deliver this one, the specific one. I will add it like this, and I will save. Okay, you'll see that here you have one to do, you have one done. So this delivery order is ready to be shipped. By validating it, you will have this specific number tracked to that client. Okay, let me know if I misinterpreted or if you didn't follow the explanation, but that's the basic way to do it. Then Nias, you're from India. Can you explain the work order, the working of the master production schedule? This will be hard to do today, simply because it takes a lot of time to demo it. Yeah, I propose we do this either some other time, or you can create a ticket to odoo.com/help. But this will probably take the rest of the session, so I'm not gonna dig into explaining the master production schedule all the way. If that's fine with you, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. Okay, I'll be back. Just need to take a small break, and I'll be back for the remainder of the session. For your information, the session will not stop at 12:30. I will just switch. We will switch presenters. Okay, so I'll see you in 5, and check the rest of your questions. Okay. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna check for any new questions that came in. So Mohammed is asking, can I create a customer payment from sales menu in accounting? Well, it does not create a line in the bank statement. No, that's true. So I'm gonna explain this the easiest. If you have an invoice, there's basically two ways to register the payment. Either you do it directly in the invoice, and then you can see, okay, this invoice is paid. What you can also do is let it stay open, and either import bank statements that you will reconcile with that invoice, or add the bank statement manually. Okay, to save some time, what I will do is do a manual one, a simple example, and you can tell me if this is useful in any way. Okay, so first of all, I will create an outstanding amount to a certain client. Let's say the client is myself. So I'm the client, and I have a invoice. You sold something to me, I still need to pay it. So Karel buys a graphic card, okay, it's worth $855, and you validate the invoice. Okay, what you can do is register the payment here. This gives you the option to set the invoice to done, but it won't have any you won't see it reflected in your bank statement. Okay, it's a very basic way of registering the payment. So you can register the payment, choose your bank, and validate. Okay, this will create some journal entries. You have here the outstanding amount, and here it is paid on this date. You can open the payment, and it will be a manual payment. Okay, to the bank you chose. Okay, now what I advise you to do, if you can, is to follow it up through the bank statements. And you do this by, I'm going to duplicate this invoice, validate it, and I'm going to leave it open. Okay, so I have an outstanding amount of $885, and I want to register the payment, but not directly here. I'll do it through a bank statement. In this case, I'm going to duplicate my tab. I'm going to go to the dashboard of the accounting. Let's say with the regular bank here, I will add a bank statement. Okay, I'll create it. I'll say payments of today. Okay, it's in this bank, starting balance. I will add a date, a label. If you want to use the label to match to the invoice you want to use, you have to add the exact name of the invoice. Okay, it's important that you take the exact name, not a part of the code to reconcile. Odoo will not automatically reconcile. It will suggest you what to reconcile with what. Once you did it, I jump to the invoice. I refresh this. You'll see that the invoice is paid, so that's nice. And here at the bottom, you can see what actually happened. So with the bank statement number 4, we paid an amount of this on that date with this bank. Okay, you can open the payment to see the entries, or you can, in any case of a problem, you can unreconcile and link it to the correct payment if that would ever be needed. Okay, so that's basically how it works. I hope I help you with that. Italiano. Yeah, okay. So back to the serialized units. Is it possible to import them on serial number? It is possible. If you have a lot of them, it's definitely advisable to import. I don't know if you have any skills in importing. I suggest I give you a short demo on how to do that. So first you need to go to the model that contains all the serial numbers, okay? So you go to the inventory. In the inventory control, I think, the bottom menu here is lots and serial numbers. And you can see in the URL that you're now in the stock production lot. This is the model you have to be in to be able to import, as you can see here, be able to import lot numbers. So what we can do to speed up the process is export, let's say, all the mouse serial numbers, just so you have an idea how it looks. So action export. I will take the lot number and the product, because those are the two things you need, okay? If I export them to a file, it's this file. So what you see is actually an Excel sheet. This is what you're gonna have to make yourself, okay? In the first column you will add an ID. The ID can be whatever you want. It's pretty much the DNA of the serial number in the database. It's what it will be called technically. This is the name of the serial number. This is the actual serial number. And here, the product ID, you will refer to the product for which the serial number is used. So in this case, this is actually the DNA I was talking about here. This is the definition, the technical definition of the product in the database. This is its technical name, okay? So imagine we need thousands of serial numbers for the product mouse. What we will do is use this column to refer to the mouse for each line. And this column we will just create a random ID. So import mouse. I will add a random ID. Let's say I import 1000 serial numbers, okay? So then in a second step, you will add your serial numbers. Hopefully they are running up or down, so you can easily with Excel add them here. So I'll just call it, let's say, I don't know, serial number test, and I will make it run up. So we'll have one unique number per product, and here you don't want this to run up, you want this to stay exactly the same, because for each serial number we're referring to the same product, obviously. Now what you do in the last step is you save this, save a file, this the file that you're working in, you go back to where you were, which is here. So in the inventory control, serial numbers, and here you import the file you just made, okay? You load the file, you look for it. Not sure if it's this one. Yeah, okay. So you choose the file that you just worked in. You'll see Odoo recognizes the columns. You have the external ID, you have the lot number itself, and you have the external ID of the product. Okay? The next step is validating. And it could take a while, since it's 1000 lot numbers, sometimes it could take a while. This is quite a fast import. So if it's validated, you'll see it'll have a blue error, but how it is given to the public afterwards, I'm not sure. It should be, I think it should be a YouTube video that you can check. I'm not sure about the name. Let me quickly check if I can get any wiser from this. So now the video is called Friday Live Support from Odoo headquarters. Yeah, so basically if you look into Odoo and search for live support Odoo, you will find older sessions from my colleagues, and you will find mine as well soon. Okay, after this session probably. Okay, so let's go back. Let me quickly read your question, Mohammed, because I'm not. So you want to re-evaluate your customers' another currency balance. If you create a customer invoice for $1,000, okay, to re-evaluate it with a new rate. I think it's to be tested, of course, but once you validate an invoice, the moment you validate it, and the currency needs to be recalculated, Odoo will calculate it at that moment. Okay? Once your invoice is validated, it's basically it's set at that value. So what you can try to do, and do this in a test environment, please, is canceling the invoice, cancel the entries that were made by that invoice, reset your invoice to draft, and then validate it. This might update your currency problem. I'll quickly show you the steps. Because your question, Nias, it's because I don't want to. We only have half an hour left, and if I have to explain you the master production schedule, it's quite an advanced feature in Odoo. And the reason why I'm not answering this question, because I already told you before, is because it would take me a lot of time to explain. And I want to keep this session open for basic Odoo questions, questions that don't take half an hour to explain. Okay, it's so what I was explaining, how you want to reset the currency calculation to be tested, of course. How you do that is, first of all, you go in your apps. Okay, in your apps you type cancel, and you have an add-on here which is called cancel journal entries. So canceling journal entries, you need to install it. That's not all. Once it's installed, what you can do, go to accounting, and in your accounting you have the customer invoices. This is the journal you need to be able to reset an invoice and recalculate its currency. What you can do is click on more, and here in the settings, you will open you'll open the settings. If you click on the advanced settings, here will be an option to allow canceling the entries. Okay, now make sure you're in debug mode. If you're not in debug mode, you will not see this option. Okay, so you activate this. Once it's activated, what you can do is go to a customer invoice, once that's already, let's say, that's not paid yet, but that has been validated. What you can do is cancel it, set it to draft. This will basically change nothing on the invoice. It will just make you able to edit it, and I expect that it will also recalculate your currency now. So if you validate it again, it will take the moment now that you validated. Okay. Make sure your invoice date is also related to the currency update. If your currency update was not done before the invoice date, then I'm afraid Odoo will take the currency rate at which it was at this date. Okay, keep this in mind. test it out, and get back to us, get back to me, or get back to the odoo.com/help, so we can see if we can help you in another way. But I think this might work. Jamie Funk, you want to see how automatic dropshipping? Okay. Before this works, sorry about that. What you need to do is make sure the you can choose the route in your sale order line. Something I haven't configured yet. So in the configuration of your sales, you go in the settings, and here you need to activate that you can choose a route inside your sale order. Okay, if you do this and you save, needs to refresh. Okay, so back to my example. So I'll take my iMac product. I'll have the route here to be able to choose dropshipping. I'm quickly going to check on the product if there's vendor information on it. There is. Okay. So if I save and close this and I do a dropshipping, I confirm. There will be no delivery order here on the sale order because we chose to dropship. Okay. If I want to see where the dropship is going, you have to go to the purchase app. In the purchase app, here you will see for the source document number 96, which is the one we just validated, there is a PO coming in, and we want to confirm this. And this shipment here, if you validate it, it will be, as you can see, it will be from the vendor to the customer. Okay, so there's no, it bypasses the standard route where you first buy products and you bring them in. Sorry about this. You can see it's directly from the vendor to the customer. So you can validate, and this will be it. You can see the delivery slip here. Sorry. It's for the customer Karel, for this product and this amount. Okay. Nias, what I advise you to do, if you're really interested in the entire master production schedule, what you can do is maybe ask my colleague when he comes to replace me. He has another 3 hours to fill. For me, it didn't fit in today's program. What you can do is ask him. If he also says it's too elaborate to discuss, no problem. Then ask our odoo.com/help team. They will provide you with either a video, either a tutorial, or they will explain to you by email. Okay? Sorry for this. I have another question here. Referring to the currency reevaluate. Okay. It's not accepted for any customer to cancel invoice in order to reevaluate. I don't understand. Okay. Yeah, well, if the currency keeps changing, and there's no way we cannot retroactively update each invoice currency of the validated invoices. It's something we don't support yet. For the payment part, The moment you pay, it will take the currency of the moment you pay. But for open standing invoices, I'm sorry, I don't think there's anything we can do about that. Okay? Mm. An extra question regarding the drop shipping. How does a vendor know to order and to ship to the customer? Basically what you do is you can go to the purchase order and you can send it by email. You can send it by email, so it's not here anymore. But is there a way to remove the download true from the attached file in the chatter? For example, in the chatter from the CRM lead. Can you explain what you mean? Because I'm not sure I understand. Seems like a technical request. You want to remove a part of the code related to the chatter in the CRM. Not sure I can help you with that. Prasukrit, Odoo can show a preview image attachment. No, not yet. So at the moment, the thumbnails of the, let me find an example. Right, I'll add some examples. So I'll add an Excel sheet, and I'll add a PDF, and I will also add a image. So the grapes. So at the moment, as you can see, we show a basic thumbnail in the chatter, but you don't see a preview yet. You have to click on it and open it. But in future versions, we will add it. You will see a preview of the attachment. Not sure if it will be in V11, but in about 20 minutes, a colleague of mine will take over. He is in the usability team. He is very much up to date on what will be and what will not be in V11. So if you have the time to stick around, and you have questions regarding what will or will not be in V11, I'm not sure he will be able to show you, but he will at least be able to tell you this will be included or this will not be included. Now that I'm talking about V11, I want to repeat that the first week of October we will launch V11, and to do this we have a event called Odoo Experience. If you are not from the other side of the world, or if you're, at least if you can get to Belgium, you're very welcome to join the experience. The only thing I want to show you about that is take the time to go to odoo.com, and here on the right side you have a clear banner about the Odoo experience. If you have the time today, take 5 minutes to read it, just see what it's about. You can come for free, you can also pay to have specific trainings, whatever you want. And if you're interested in coming, check the agenda, because in the agenda you will see specifically what will be taught on which day. Obviously we will start with a keynote from our CEO Fabien, and he will explain the main new things of V11, but in that day and the following days we will go in depth on what is new, what is improved, what is still existing, but how to use it. it's a very interesting event if you can make it. If you can't make it, there will be live streams for a large part of the event, much like this, but then actual lectures at the event about specific topics. So no, it won't be a general questionnaire, it will be specific. So please check the agenda and either come or check the live stream or check V11 for yourself once it's out. Okay. So Steve-O is specifying his question. If you attach a file on a new message or an internal message, the system always wants to download the file instead of opening it in the browser. This is because the download through is in the link. Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for explaining. It didn't seem 100% clear to me. If you have the time, please take this question to Odoo support, odoo.com/help. Because I'm not sure if we can technically delete that part of the code in our online instance. Okay. What about manufacturing? Not sure what you mean. What about manufacturing? You can be a partner, yeah. You can apply to be an Odoo partner. For this, again, it's using a check. So what you have to do is first choose a journal that is allowed to pay by check. And then here you can choose the check option. Okay, the amount in words, don't mind it. It's a Runbot add-on. Here you have the memo, and you can validate. Okay. Go here in the payment. If you open the payment, you can see the payment is linked to the bank description. I have a new question here from Xiao. You're asking me if something is included in Odoo 11. So the quality checks per work order rather than per product. What I advise you to do is to stick around for another 10 minutes, if that's okay. I hope you have the time, because in 10 minutes my colleague will be here. He used to be a functional analyst like me, but now he is in the usability team, which means this guy is very up to date on what will be in V11. So if you want an elaborate answer, please wait a while longer, and then you can check what I can do for you. I don't know V11 that good yet, but what I can do is show you how it looks. If I open the master version of Odoo, I'm logging in now. 1 second. I'll try another one. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the look of V11. I can't tell you that much about it yet, since it's very new for us as well. Again, refer to my colleague in a few minutes for any questions on V11, but this is the way it looks. You can already see some changes here. For instance, the notifications that you will have, they will not be grouped, but you will have notifications linked to your sale order, to your appointments, payments that are late, etc. They will be here grouped per kind. Okay, the chatter will be the same. This is the integrated VoIP calling platform. We changed a bit the look. I don't know if you see any difference. If you know V10, you will see a difference. If Odoo is new to you, then this is obviously new to you too. So the quotations, if I open a sale order, the look will have changed a bit as well, as you can see. This remains the same. This layout. Yeah. So we changed the look. There's a lot of things that changed, but please refer to my colleague or watch the live stream of the keynote of our CEO in the first week of October. To be precise, I'll give you the exact date of the keynote. 1 second. Yeah. So it's the 4th of October. The 4th of October at 9 a.m. Belgian time. For people that are not in Belgium, 9 a.m. Belgian time. From 9 till 11, you will have a keynote on V11. Okay?